Hey guys, my name is Destiny here. Welcome to Purpose Calling and Gifting. Anyway, today we'll be talking about my journey to purpose. But before I start, I just want to give God the glory and the honor because without Him, I don't know where I would have been. I would have been I think, still lost and confused without me, without God not coming for me. I don't know where I would have been. So I always give Him the glory, like, God, thank you for coming for me. Thank you for allowing me to accept the call that you have for me. Thank you for rescuing me. And my story is very long, so I wouldn't go from back. No, because if I have to go back, man, you would have been here for like 10 hours. So I will just talk about my journey to purpose. When you don't know your purpose or you don't know what you are meant to do, confusion setting. And you started to do things out of the way. You started occupying yourself with things that you know it's not right for you. Maybe it could be drugs, maybe it can be drinking, maybe it can be sex and all those stuff. You occupying yourself with so many relationships. You occupying yourself with drinking. But when you actually discover your purpose, it's like those things flee away, they run away, because now your mind is focused on the thing, the calling that God has for you. Your mind is focused on the direction that you are meant to be going in. When you don't know your purpose, you feel limited. You feel like you are just empty within. And that's how it was for a long time. I was always empty within. Before I came to Christ, before I came to knowing Christ, man, I was even worse. worse than anything else. Like, just occupying myself, giving my body out to people because I felt empty. Giving my body out to people because I feel like I wasn't good enough. And drinking, even I don't even like to drink, but I was drinking to fill that void, going to party and places that wasn't even the right place for me. But I was doing it because I didn't have a sound purpose. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't know who I was. And when you're out of Christ, you don't know who you are. So that's when you started doing things that is out of the will of God and out of alignment with God's will. So when God came for me, when I actually went in that place where I actually started not seeking God, because He's the one that came to save me. But when I accepted Him, I went in that place of fasting. I went in that place of just breaking things off of me, because there was so many things that needed to be broken off of me. There was same sex, not marriage. Like I had this growing up, I had this connection where I feel like, I don't know, I liked women, which is strange, and I knew it wasn't me. I needed to break that off from me. I needed to break sexual desire from me. I need to break idolatry of marriage off from me. And it's so many things that I needed to break. So I used to fast a lot. And I fasted so much, like, people used to be like, "Man, can you start fasting? We are worried about you." Because I was so skinny. Well, I'm skinny now, but I'm healthy skinny. But the other one was like, I don't know what you was doing. Like, I was always fasting. So I was not a healthy skinny. So I was like, but I knew what I needed to be broken off of me. So I didn't care what people were saying about me. I was consistently fasting. I was in the season. That's why I'm like, God can call you to certain season. When I actually take my relationship with God seriously, I went in that place of fasting. I was fasting. Like, all the things that I went through. When I fasted, I did my 21-day fasting. There was 21 days where I didn't eat. There were 7 days I didn't eat. 3 days I didn't eat. And I always was doing dry fasting. That's where so many things broke off of me. And I started growing in my relationship with God. I started seeking God in an intimate way. But even though I was still empty, I still didn't know my purpose. But at least I was seeking God. I wasn't doing the thing, going to party and drinking and smoking. Well, nah, I didn't smoke. I wasn't a person that actually smoked, not smoke, but drinking and sleeping with people that I wasn't meant to be sleeping with, and just doing just the most random thing. Yeah. Anyway, but when I gave my life to Christ, I knew I was new. I was a new creation. I knew I was different. I knew I didn't desire those things anymore. And I knew I didn't want that. And when I gave my life to Christ, I gave it all. And that's why I say when you give your life to Christ, the enemy will try to fight you. The enemy is always after us. The enemy is always desiring to take us away from God. So that's why you have to remain consistent. Even with my walk with God, I was seeking God continuously, but it wasn't the way that I used to. So I did got into the place of loneliness, and I started seeking thing that was out of God were into a relationship, and I started seeking relationship back again. That desire came back again. The thing that I struggled with was marriage. Like I wanted to settle down, I wanted to get married, so I did slide back into that place where I felt lonely. And then during that loneliness, I started seeking relationship again from exes and stuff. And I remember when I met my daughter dad, I was still in that place of, I was still seeking God, but I knew I wasn't deeply seeking Him in that way. And they became pregnant with my daughter, and I had a daughter. And with that came, that's why I say when God say do not do certain things, listen to Him. Because when we're doing that times, that's when it's like the whole world were against, like, I mean, like the pit of hell just came to to fall on me. And oh man, I went through so much after my daughter, after I gave birth to my daughter. I won't go into the details, but I went through so much. That's when God said wait on Him, wait on Him. I went through so much, and I wasn't myself. I was losing weight. I was sad. I was depressed. I was anxious. And even when I came in this house, I was still like depressed and sad. Even though I was getting my life back together. I was going back to the place that God had for me. But I was still in that place of confusion still. I was still in that place of, I don't know what you want me to do, God. I'm still confused. Yes, you have brought me in this house. I have become a full-time mom, because when I was in my mom's house, she used to help me, but now I'm taking care of my kids on my own. It was a bit difficult to navigate. So I'm like, you had brought this kid with me. I'm always tired. I'm always trying to be a good mom, but it's like I'm not getting there. I don't know what you want for me. I don't know the purpose, the calling that you have for me. This ought to it just being a mom, just being always exhausted and tired, and I was always tired and exhausted. And I was always asking God, what do you want me to do? What do you desire me to do? What do you have for me to do? And in that, I remember having this vivid dream. And in the dream that God was like, you constantly seeking for marriage, constantly. And He was true. Even though I was always asking, but I always thought like marriage was my saving grace, that when I get married, everything will be okay. When I get married, I will be happy. When I get married, always in that place of marriage, when I get married, I will discover my purpose. When I get married, it's always about marriage. And God have to pull me that from that. He showed me this, like you're always seeking for marriage. But it's like, it was like these two massive black beanbags were on the floor. He said, this is what I want for you. Like, I want you to be filled up like this. But you're constantly thinking about marriage. But I want much more for you. I desire much more for you. When I woke up from that dream, I'm like, wow. That's when now I'm like, you know what, let me just take that idol of marriage and just focus on what He want me to do. And with that, I still didn't know, even after that dream, but I was still asking Him. And in that asking, I'm like, God, I need to know my purpose, because if I leave the earth and I don't know my purpose, I come to you, don't blame me. and that was true. At times we have to talk to God like that. Now I'm not saying I was mean, but I was just telling the truth because I didn't know what he wanted me to do, and I was always in that place of constantly asking him, constantly seeking him. And it was set in that place that I need to know God, because I know you have more for me. And at times we think we want it more, but God wanted more than we do. Want us to discover our purpose more than we do, desire for us to walk in our calling more than we do, to utilize our gift more than we do. And that's what he wanted for me. So I remember one day I was like, you know what, since I don't know what I needed to do, but I love to talk about health because I love health and, mental health, physical health, but mostly I love taking care of my body and eating healthy. So I'm like, you know what, let me just open a YouTube channel called, health and stuff like that. So I went in that place where I started doing mental, physical, and spiritual health. And as you can go, if you go down my old channel, you will see like where I'm talking about health and everything. And that's what I was talking about. It was called Women Retreat. And I said, go up. I'm like, I don't know. One day I remember I was doing my diploma in community service, and I just felt in my heart, I'm like, but Destiny, you love to talk about, you always encouraging people to walk in that purpose, even though you didn't knew yours. I always have that zeal to help people, or to speak to people, to actually walk in that purpose, to walk in a gifting, to use that gifting. Because my cousins, my sister, they knew how to do hair. I'm like, why these people don't have their own hair shop? Or why these people don't have their own hair product? Like, they're good at those things. Like, there was people who was good at doing makeup. And I'm like, why are you not doing it? Why are you not going all out for it? Why are you sitting on it? So it was always in that, like, I was so zealous for people. I'm like, why are you not utilizing the thing that God has given you? And we the one, we are here asking and crying to God, and I will always crying to God about my purpose. I'm like, I'm the one who here, I don't even know what I'm meant to be doing, and I'm always crying. And that's when the fire birthed in me. I'm like, you know what, instead of just doing women retreat where I'm just talking to women about mental health or physical health, why can I do the thing that I always used to be zealous of, which is talking to people to walk in that, use that gift. So that's when PCG was birthed, which is called Purpose, Calling, and Gifting. And it always, like, when I started the Purpose and Calling and Gifting, the more I went into it, the more I knew that this is what God had for me. And even with now, it continued. The more that I work with him, everything started adding up, like the school, like the thing that when me going to back to school, and what he wanted me to learn, it's all tied up to my YouTube channel. Not even my YouTube channel, but what he had for me. And the more that I go with him, the more he like revealed to me more and more and more. And he keep adding to the puzzle, like taking pieces and adding it to the puzzle, taking pieces, adding up to the puzzle of my life. And the more I go on this journey with him, the more I am excited to actually know what he had for me in store. And the more I go on this journey, the more I'm excited to bring more people to actually help you to walk in your purpose, or to discover your purpose, or to utilize, if you do know your purpose, to actually walk boldly in it, and not to be afraid. Because with me, I used to have that place where I'm like, I don't want to talk in front of people. I used to be scared. But the more God take me, the more that he worked with me, is that fear is continue to be broken off for me. The more that I work with him, the more that I talk, the more that I seek him, the more that I even on this platform, the fear is removing day by day, month by month, and year by year. So that is basically my journey to purpose. It's not this big bold thing, but it's what I had, like God speaking to me, and he guided me, especially in the place that I am in now. Love you guys, and bye.